it is absolutely imperative that every member of the 2012 elect group and every member of the Manning Report listening audience pass out 1,000 of the flyers with the picture of the Mujahideen or Taliban leader on the cover. You got to do that. You got to do that. Here, I got to tell y'all that if we're going to take this wonderful, blessed, bountiful, rich, and powerful nation back, we're going to have to sacrifice. And you can't take this nation back from your easy chair on the front porch with a glass of iced tea and a bit of mint julep. You can't do that. You're going to have to get up and do something. You have to get out there, and you're going to have to hand out these flyers to people that don't want them, but hand them out anyway. Make your quota of 1,000 each, hand them out. If we're going to get this lush, beautiful nation with mountains and wheat fields and rivers and valleys and great cities with skyscrapers and great infrastructure, if we're going to take this nation back and reserve its constitution, we're going to have to sacrifice. We're going to have to get out there. We're going to have to work. We can't do it from our lazy boy. You can't do it that way. You got to get out there and do something. And then the other thing you got to do is that you got to come to New York on the 14th of May for the trial. You got to be here. Your being here will send a signal to the world that I want to see Obama removed. Enough. I am serious about it. I want Obama at the White House. That's what you got to say. And I'm serious enough to take off a week from work, to sacrifice fund money, to sacrifice, to go into my savings. I'm serious. I want this man out the White House, and I'm not going to wait for somebody else to do it. No, I'm going to New York to register, to say to the world, I want this man out the White House. I want our nation back. We're going to take our nation back. But you can't do it from your lazy boy or your easy chair and your iced tea and your mint julep on the front porch. You're going to have to get out there and start working. And you can't do it by going to these marches called the Tea Party. I love the Tea Party people. Yeah, I do. But don't you see he's rolling over the Tea Party people? Listen to me, everybody. Listen to me. Listen to me. You're going to have to sacrifice. This is going to cost you something. You can't get this nation back from that maniacal, quasi-long-legged Muslim freak called Barack Hussein Obama. You're going to have to pay some dues. You're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to make your way to New York. Get that business out your mouth that you can't come. You got this to do or that to do. Are you serious? You're going to have to be here if we're going to get this nation back. Suppose everybody said that. Suppose everybody said, well, I'll let somebody else do it. I'm not going to go, but I know other people will. Then nobody will show up and we don't get the nation back. You're going to have to sacrifice. Stop making the excuses. Find the money and get out there and hand out those flyers. Make your reservation on the 14th of May. When we do our first march around Columbia University, you got to be there. This is going to cost you something, but it's worth it. America is worth you're taking a week off from work. America is worth you're going into your 401k program. America is worth you're taking out a loan to come to New York. It is worth it. It's worth it for your children. It's worth it that you protect your house, that beautiful business that you've got. It is worth it that you protect it for your children. Don't let Obama's redistribution of the wealth program take that beautiful farm, that beautiful house, that wonderful business that you got, your cars and your truck and your 401k programs and your investment. Don't let him, through the power of taxation, take that away from you and give it to some crackhead in South Central Los Angeles. Don't do it. You're going to have to defend this. You got to get up and you got to invest. You got to do something. You got to commit. You got to work. You got to toil. It isn't going to fall in your lap. You have got to take America back. That means you got to get up and do something, everybody. You can't make excuses. Be in New York on May the 14th when we march around Columbia University for 7 days until that bastion of hell and debauchery falls, and Obama, that lying quasi-Muslim freak, is exposed, because that's what the trial is going to do. It's going to expose this Marlboro black-lipped quasi-Muslim low-life long-legged Mac Daddy freak. It's going to expose him and bring him low. You got to invest. Is it worth it? Is America worth everything that I have said and more? Is it worth it for you to invest? Is it worth it for you to go into your 401k program? Is your house and your grandchildren's future, is it worth it for you to be here in New York on the 14th of May when the trial begins? Is it worth it? Is America worth it? Your children's future, is it worth the sacrifice that you must make to be here? All right. The flyers got to be handed out. They have got to be handed out. 1,000 per listener. You got another 4 weeks to do it. You got another 30 days to hand out the flyers. Within 30 days, you would have met your quota of 1,000 flyers. It's worth it, my friends. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. You got to accept the fact. Put it in your heart that you're going out there and you're going to do the work. And I know many of y'all, you're with me, and I know you are. But I'm going to ask you to draw closer to me. I'm going to ask you to come closer. I'm going to ask you to come to New York. Come closer. But the other thing is this, is that, my friends, this business that the Tea Party is espousing, that we don't have a leader and we don't need one, that's Glenn Beck. That's Glenn Beck foolishness. My friends, no army has ever won a war disorganized without a general. Now, don't follow him wearing them 1950s sneakers. Don't do that. You say, well, you shouldn't say that about him. But listen. Listen. How can we win the army without a leader? We need a general. We need a leader. We need a president. We need a governor. This man he has set the word down that we don't need that. I love you. I do. I love this nation. I love Jesus most of all. I love Jesus. I love this nation, and I love you. I pray that you love me as well. Law. That's what God said. That's what God said.